Hey everybody, welcome to Home with the Halsteads, and thank you for joining me in my kitchen. Today we're not going to be baking or making anything. We're just going to have a little chat about eggs. Now, eggs is something that's probably at the top of your grocery list every week. I use a lot of eggs. We eat eggs for breakfast, we eat eggs for dinner. I bake a lot with eggs, my cakes, my cookies, my candies, I use eggs. Casseroles, you use eggs. So I would just imagine that you use a lot of eggs at your house too. But I will tell you this, from my experience in cooking over the years, if you let your eggs come to room temperature, they will incorporate so much better into your foods, and your foods will turn out so much better, unless you have a recipe that calls for your eggs to be cold when you add them to the other ingredients. Now, when I go to the grocery store and buy my eggs, they're in the refrigerated section. So I keep my eggs in the refrigerator. I just feel like that's what I need to do to keep my eggs cool. But then when I go to bake or to make something, I want my eggs to be at room temperature. And how many times have you, like me, forgotten to take your eggs out and let them come to room temperature? You know, it takes at least an hour for eggs to come to room temperature if you just set them out. And they're at room temperature when you can feel of the shell and it's no longer cool. So that's when you know that it's at room temperature. So let me give you a tip today. That's the purpose of my video, is how to quickly bring your eggs to room temperature. Now, there are two ways that you can do this. First of all, let's pretend that I'm making a cake and it calls for 3 eggs, and I'm busy in the kitchen and I'm so excited to get my cake batter made up, and I come to the eggs and I realize, oh my goodness, I forgot to take my eggs out of the refrigerator. So all that you need to do, don't be discouraged, don't be disappointed, don't say, well, it's not going to turn out well, because it will, I promise you. Go to the refrigerator, get 3 eggs, and place them in a bowl. Take it over to your sink, run the water until it gets to the temperature that you would take a bath in, say bath water. You don't want it to be scalding hot because it'll start to boil your eggs. So just run your water, fill your water. When it gets warm, fill it with water in this bowl. You have the eggs in it, and set it aside. And I promise you, in less than 5 minutes, your eggs are going to be at room temperature. Now, that's one way of doing it. Another way of doing it that might be a little faster, maybe a minute or 2 faster, is that you can just run the water over the eggs, just continuously run the warm water over the eggs until they come to room temperature. And that probably takes 3 or 4 minutes. So there's not much difference. I usually just put mine in a bowl, add the warm water, let it set for just a few minutes, and then we have eggs at room temperature. So how easy is that? And that's my tip for the day. I hope you have a blessed day. Thank you for joining Home with the Halsteads, and I'll see you again really, really soon.